All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. I've been creating a series of video presentations based off of the PowerPoint slides for the textbook Xerox C# 7th edition that we use for the Rankin Technical College AWD or Application and Website Development 1100 Programming Fundamentals with C# course. So far, I have gotten through the first 5 chapters. So I've got all of section 1 done, and I'm right here on section 2. So for right now, I'm going to go in and code or do a presentation on how to code methods and event handlers. So with that said, let's get started. Here's our cover page. And as always, we will begin by quickly looking at the applied and the knowledge objectives. Applied, we'll learn how to write methods in here. All right. And for knowledge, talk about method signatures, what goes into a method, the difference between passing something by value and by reference, talk about optional arguments, pass arguments by name, talk about the use of tuples, which I'm not going to spend much time on. They confuse me, to be honest. And talk about how event wiring works in C#. We looked at this earlier, but we're going to look at it again. All right, so I've decided to do this like this. Whether what I'm about to show you is a good idea or a bad idea, whether it works or doesn't work, I'm going to go back to that, what is the last program that I wrote here? This change calculator, which of course looks like that, but I'm going to copy it over to here. All right, and I'm going to immediately just change the title to Change Calculator Methods. Hopefully I didn't break anything by doing that, but I'm going to bring it up now. And this is my change calculator program. But what I'm going to do as a prelude, I'm kind of doing it backwards from the way I have been doing it, and that is for this number of dimes, number of nickels, etc. All right, I'm going to create routines for this, for this, for this, for this. All right, so I'm going to say here int number of quarters equal I'm trying to think of a good name for this, not display, but calculate quarters. I got to spell it right. I'm going to get errors on all this stuff. We're going to write these in just a minute. So calculate quarters. All right. And then this, like I said, I'm going to get errors on all these. Don't let that bother you or anything else. It's going to be quarters, and this will be dimes. This will be nickels, and I'm going to see if I can write this one too, and that'll be pennies. Now again, I'm getting errors because these have not yet been written. It's not that there's any errors in them, but since they have not yet been written, since they have not yet been written, they're kind of just sitting out there in an island by themselves. All right, now let's see. When I call number of quarters, I'll need to pass. Actually, I can't do these yet, so let's make some changes. All right, let me copy this. Okay. All right, I'm not going to give these values right now. I don't want to call this stuff until I know that I've got a valid number in there. Okay, so that'll work fine just like that. All my errors are going to be gone now, so they're all gone. Okay, no more errors. Now, if I get down to here, this is where I had been doing everything. So, for calculate the number of quarters due, what I'm going to do for now is, let's see, how do I do this? I'm just going to bring up I'm going to paste that into here. There. So I'm going to say this. Number of quarters equals this. Again, I'm going to get an error when I put this back in. So number of quarters equal calculate quarters. What is that? Well, I'm about to write that right now. So private, is this going to return something? Yeah, it's going to return the number of quarters. So private int calculate quarters. All right. Again, I'm going to get an error when I paste this in. So number of quarters. It's confused. What the heck is this? And I'm not returning anything. See that? All right. So number of quarters is right here. So the number of quarters is basically what I'm going to return. That's this. That's okay. Now I've got change here. So I'm going to say int change, and that'll be what I pass in. And don't worry if you don't know what this means. It's totally fine. This thing that says change remaining, all right, I am going to make that global. I like to try to remember to explain everything to you afterwards. Of course, sometimes I forget, so these will be my global or my global variable right there. All right. So I've got that. Number of quarters equal calculate quarters. Number of quarters. All right. So let's see. That's the change. That's fine. Quarter value is fine. I'm going to change the name of this to NOQ, number of quarters. Okay. So I need to pass in two integers there. I need to pass in the change. Okay, that, and I don't need to pass this in. I'll create that in here. Int number of quarters equal that. Return number of quarters. There. Now go away errors. Please go away. Thank you. And the errors went away there too. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to go and play with all this stuff, so give me a second here. So now I'm going to say number of dimes. Again, I'm going to get errors because I haven't written anything yet called number of dimes. All right, and I shouldn't have to pass anything into there. Let's just do it like this. So this will be number of nickels equals calculate nickels, and number of pennies equal calculate pennies. Now I'm getting errors for all these again because they haven't been written yet. All right, so let's write those right now. So we've got calculate quarters, and the next thing is going to be calculate dimes. And I think it doesn't need anything in here, but I'll say int NOD for number of dimes equals our change remaining divided by a dime value. Our change remaining will be our change remaining divide our modulo dime value, and I'll return our number of dimes. Oh, that looks pretty good. Let's see, a number of dimes. There. All right. Now let's do our number of nickels. So calculate nickels. And this will be number of nickels. Change remaining divided by nickel value, change remaining equals change remaining. That'll be nickel value, and I'll return my number of nickels. And finally, even though I really don't need to write anything, actually I can just do this. I can say number of pennies equals change remaining. There. Now I've rewritten this, no errors, and I've rewritten it totally using, not totally, but let's see. Let's see if we can make this even better. All right. So let's see. I'm going to, this Boolean result here, I'm going to change this to call it keep going. And I'm going to set it equal to true. Now, I'm going to grab this thing in here. Don't worry about this result. It'll all work out in just a minute. But I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to say keep going equal check for no input. All right, so I'll put that up here. So private, it'll have to return a Boolean, and it's check for no input. Paste that in. So if there's nothing in there, I'll show the message, and now I'm going to return false. Now, make this a little cleaner. I'm going to put in a Boolean here that I'm going to call retval, which means return value, and I'm going to set that equal to true. I'm sitting here thinking to myself that if I was watching this, I might think this guy is nuts. He's given us all this stuff. Well, yeah, but it's all stuff we're going to go over in class. You have my word on that. All right, so pool retval equal true. Retval equals false. Return retval. So that's good. So we have at least fixed this. If keep going equal check for non-numeric, and I'll grab all of this. And to come down here, private bool check for non-numeric. Paste that in. Bool retval equal true. Int result. All right. So if that's a Boolean result, and that's retval, so result equal this, and we've got change here, and we will just say int change. Okay, the errors are going away, as you can see. So here we'll say retval equal false, return retval. Okay, those errors are now gone. And finally, we've got to check for our out of range. I don't know what happened there. Let me try that again. So, if keep going going equals check for out of range input. I'm going to change this, check for no input, check for non-numeric. I'm going to change that to input, which is going to break this. It's going to have to now be input. There we go. All right. All right, so did I call it that? Check for non-numeric input. Good. Private bool, check for non-numeric input. And check for out of range input. All right. Okay, I'm going to have to make a couple changes in here. Just bear with me for a second. I promise we'll go over all of it, then we'll go over the chapter. But I think, at least, this is going to help what was in the chapter. So I'm going to change this to convert dot to int 32. I'll do that. txt change to dot text. There we go. Just trying to get rid of these errors that are in here. So they're almost done, believe it or not. So in here, I'll have to grab. Did I remove that? Okay, let's see what's in here. Yep, that'll work. Bool ret val equal true, and it needs to change. This is change remaining. As you can probably guess, the chance of this working with me making all these changes probably isn't that good, but we'll see in just a couple minutes, okay? So this will say, if that's the case, ret val equal false, return ret val. Now there's just 2 or 3 more changes we have to make and then we're done. So let's see, the variable change is declared but never used. I don't need that anymore. So that's gone. All of my errors are gone. Now, I need to put in here else. Return. Else. Return. All right. If not, keep going. Return. All right, that actually should be everything. Let me run it and see if I broke anything. And if I did, it's no biggie. We'll fix it. So we'll come in here again and we'll say take something easy. 94 cents I think we used before. Out of range. Okay, it doesn't like something. That's all right. We'll fix it. How about this? Nothing input, so that worked. Non-numeric, so that worked. But it doesn't like for there, that's out of range. So we'll have to fix that. So the point is, the no input worked. The non-numeric input worked. The out of range did not. So Boolean ret val equal true. If the change remaining is less than the minimum or it's greater than the maximum, we should have said this, and it is less than the minimum or greater than the maximum. So somehow this value isn't staying. So did I make change remaining? It is here. There it is. So that's change remaining. Let's see. I'm going to do this. Let me grab this. There, I'm prettying this up. I'm just making it easier for me and everybody else who might look at this to work with. Don't need that anymore. I gotta spell remaining correctly. All right, there, that's all going. Now let's try it again, and then we'll go back and decompose it, so to speak. 94 still says it's out of range, though that isn't good. But it's good because it gives us a chance to look at our debugging, which was discussed in here as well. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a bunch of breakpoints in here. Okay? I'm going to put one right here. And then I should be able to tell what my change remaining is. Okay, so, and I'm going to put one right here. Then I should be able to tell my number of quarters. Then I'm going to put one right here so I can tell my number of dimes. One right here so I can tell my number of nickels. And one right here so I can tell my number of pennies. So I added those breakpoints. And I'm going to run the program a little bit differently. I can just go into a file, save all, and run it. Not a problem. Okay, so I'm going to put in here again 94. And I'm going to click calculate. And notice it says out of range right away. It never even got to where I wanted it to go. So I'm going to change the way I run this a little bit. Instead, I'm going to tell the program to run a line at a time. And I'm going to do that by, in your function keys, your F keys up on the top of your keyboard, I'm going to hit F11. And of course it doesn't work. And I broke that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I should never have done that.
Let me ask you, what is your dream guitar playing like? Do you want to fingerpick fluently on guitar, lead and play solos like your favorite guitar players, or maybe even play some classical?
But I can't do the F11 because
whatever your dream is, I want to personally help you achieve it over the next 11 months. Just like how I've helped thousands of people around the world achieve their goals with guitar. Now I know that sounds like a lot. That's why I'm here at Acustia Studios. I'm going to explain everything to you about the Guitar Masters Club in this 9-minute video.
I'm going to come in here.
So close your door because this might be the most important guitar video that you've seen. Now you might also notice that you can't skip this video. And the reason for that is I want you to understand everything about the Guitar Masters Club before you get a chance to apply. And the truth is, if you don't have the focus to watch a 9-minute video that's going to help with your guitar playing forever, then you definitely won't have the focus to learn with me over the next 11 months. Anyways, let's get into it. Let me introduce to you the Guitar Masters Club. The Guitar Masters Club is our new exclusive group here at Acustia, where I'll be personally and virtually working with you to make sure that you achieve your guitar goals. Club members get unlimited access to all our step-by-step programs, weekly coaching calls, and their own dedicated guitar coach. Yes, unlimited access to our programs like fingerstyle mastery, classical mastery, fingerpick in 20 days, strumming in 20 days, and even future programs about leading and soloing. Club members get access to them all, at the same time as getting weekly group coaching and their own dedicated success coach. In short, this is a group I'm putting together for serious guitar players who are finally ready to achieve their guitar goals, with all of our programs and one-on-one help to ensure your success. From what I've seen, what's really separating you from achieving your guitar goals are two things. The first is step-by-step systems to build your skills, instead of aimlessly doing it yourself through YouTube lessons. And the second is personal support to eliminate all of your personal struggles and roadblocks along the way. Now from our programs here at Acustia, you get the step-by-step systems. What I've noticed is having that one-on-one support can really increase how fast you improve and how far you go. Not to mention help you if you ever get stuck. That's why I'm giving you all our proven step-by-step systems to achieve your guitar guitar goals. At the same time as giving you personal guitar support, you can follow literally any of our programs and improve all the aspects of your guitar playing. And then whenever you have any problems, get personal support through our weekly calls or your dedicated success coach. I'm throwing everything I can into this group to make sure that you achieve your guitar goals. Now before we get into everything, I want to tell you a bit about myself and why I created the Guitar Masters Club. Now as you already may know, I'm Andrew C. I'm the creator of programs like Fingerpick in 20 Days, Fingerstyle Mastery, Classical Mastery, and more, and teacher to over 3,000 plus students all over the world. Now I'm sure you've already heard my story, but let me briefly talk about it. When I first started playing guitar, I actually started out as an electric guitar player learning through YouTube. It worked for a bit, and I managed to learn a few basic rock songs, but I never really developed my skill on guitar, since I was just learning to repeat back notes from YouTube. When I tried to learn harder and harder songs, I just couldn't because the skill behind my playing wasn't there. This led me to getting super overwhelmed and quitting guitar for about a year. I then stumbled into a teacher who taught me in a step-by-step way, which is what I knew I was missing. So instead of jumping around and trying to figure it out all myself, I just started following a step-by-step system. Now just following the step-by-step system would have taken my playing to the next level, but the second ingredient that got me where I am today was having personalized support from my guitar teacher. So whenever I was learning and had any unique problems with my playing, I could go to him and get personalized support. This helped me get better a lot quicker and get me where I am today. I know that's what a lot of other guitarists are missing. Not only those step-by-step systems, but having personalized support to fix any unique problems they're having. Anyways, I went on to keep learning with him, getting that personalized support, following a step-by-step system, and before I knew it, I was playing the songs of my dreams. I learned all these different types of guitar, like fingerstyle, classical,
quarters equal calculate quarters.
And even solo.
Let's do this. Let's remove these breakpoints.
I even started playing fingerstyle gigs all over my city. One of the cool parts about these gigs is it was just me, no band. I learned to fingerpick all the different parts of songs and play them on one guitar. It's truly an amazing type of guitar to play. I even posted fingerstyle guitar music videos which have gotten hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. Now you'll learn how to play fingerstyle guitar in our program Fingerstyle Mastery, which you'll get unlimited access to in the Guitar Masters Club. Now although I played a lot of fingerstyle, I was also focusing on classical guitar with my teacher. He gave me a step-by-step process to follow, which I've now replicated in Classical Mastery. Through personalized support and following a step-by-step system, I was able to learn some beautiful songs and become an advanced classical guitar player.
And let's see, the problem is going to be that this change remaining.
I even ended up getting a Guitar Gold medal from the Royal Conservatory of Music for a classical guitar test. And lastly, I took all the skills I learned up to that point, put them in a step-by-step process, and learned to play some really cool solos on guitar.
Let's bring back our variable that we had that was called change. Again, change remaining.
Now, this isn't a brand. The point is, I've been able to do so much with guitar, and it was all because I was following step-by-step systems and I was getting personal support. Anyways, back to the story. So after some time learning guitar, I then started Acoustia, and brought the same ideas that got me playing guitar so well. Programs that have a step-by-step process and get you playing songs quickly. I created a ton of different step-by-step guitar programs that got you playing fingerstyle, strumming, chords, and even classical. People all over the world were getting results. And it's an absolute blessing seeing all the reviews and comments about the step-by-step programs. It's a great thing. But for certain people, there was one problem. Even with the most step-by-step programs that we have here at Acoustia, they miss one thing: personalized support. That's why I created the Guitar Masters Club. Now, a lot of people are fine going through a program completely by themselves. And if you think that's you, then you can just join one of our programs and click off this page. But a lot of people need that extra personalized support to get them through everything. Courses are great, but if you want the most results in the quickest amount of time, you need that extra push. And that's where the Guitar Masters Club comes in. So what do you get when you join the Guitar Masters Club? When you join, you'll get unlimited access to all our step-by-step courses and a ton of one-on-one and personalized support to ensure success. Now, the one-on-one support will be given to you in 3 different ways. The first way is weekly group calls. So every single week, all the members will get together on a group call in our personal Facebook group, where you can either watch or join in and ask a question. So when you're going through the programs and get stuck or want to learn something specific, we'll be able to talk about that on the group call. What I love about group calls is people will ask questions that you might have which will help you, or you might ask questions that will help other people. So everyone improves together. The second is having a dedicated guitar success coach. In the Guitar Masters Club, every member gets their own dedicated success coach. This will either be me or another guitar teacher depending on how much people we accept in the group. The purpose of the coach is to keep you on track track and ensure your success. So when you have a question, you can either send a message or a video to your coach, and they'll get back to you as quickly as possible with a message or video response. And they'll also message you to make sure you're
Here's our global
If you want to
variables.
message me, you can also reach us at our support email
But
and phone number.
what has
This is great
changed
because
from
sometimes you
before?
want to have a big
Well,
question
what
that
you should
requires
notice
a
in
video
here
response, and you can just send us a quick
is
message here.
rather
We try
than
to
me
respond
doing
within 24
all of
hours,
this
but we're
stuff
usually a lot quicker than that. And like I said,
inside
along
of
with
my
all of this
buttons
one-on-one
calculate
support, you're going to be
I
getting
am
unlimited
calling
access to our top
routines
step-by-step guitar learning
inside.
systems.
So
The programs we
my
currently have are Fingerpick in
button
20 days,
calculate-
Strumming
my
in 20
calculate
days,
button
Bar chords in 5
click
days,
method is
Fingerstyle
acting
Mastery,
like
and
what's
Classical
referred to
Mastery.
as
The
a
20-day
driver.
programs will get you started,
like a
and then the Mastery
supervisor
programs will
delegating
last you a
authority
really
to
long time
different
and take your playing
routines.
places you've dreamed.
All right,
Thousands
so
of
this
people
is
around the world
working.
have gone through these programs and become successful, of all ages and skill levels. And we're always adding new programs as well. We're currently working on 3 new programs that are going to focus on leading, soloing, and improvising, and these are going to be added straight into your account. All these programs and one-on-one support is to ensure you're as successful as possible and achieve your guitar goals,
Might be
whatever
the
they are.
first time
So if that
when I
sounds
do
interesting,
call
then you can send an
just my
application
quarter
to the
one.
Guitar
I may have
Masters
to
Club
lick with
just by
change
clicking
in here.
below. It only takes about
So
3
let's
minutes.
do
After
that.
you finish your application, you'll
This
have an
may fix
opportunity to book a
everything.
free call personally with me or a team member. And on this call, we'll determine if you're a good fit for the program, and if you are, we'll create you a
This is
personal
change.
guitar learning blueprint. See, we have a lot of programs here at Acoustia, but we're not just going to throw them all at you. We'll make you a personal
this will
plan
now
on what to
be
go through and how, so it'll
change
best suit your
remaining.
guitar goals. And as you go through the
Somehow
programs,
remove
you'll
that
also
line
get all that one-on-one
equals
support to
change
ensure you're successful and make
divided
sure you
by
achieve your guitar
quarter
goals.
value.
All our programs have worked for
Let's
people all over
just
the world
see
of
if
all
that fixed
ages and
everything.
skill levels, and you'll have unlimited access to them, at the same
Enemy
time as
number.
having world-class
94.
personalized support. This isn't just an online course,
Out of
but a
range.
group we're
Top
putting
one.
together of serious guitar players who are finally ready to achieve their guitar goals. Like I said, I'll be personally working with you inside this group, mentoring you and coaching you. So if you're truly serious about finally achieving your guitar goals and are sick of hovering around the same skill level,
change.
then you need to apply to the Guitar Masters Club. So you can send an application
right
just by
there.
clicking the button below. Like I said, it takes less than 3 minutes to complete, and it will be the
And
best
I think I
decision
also
you can
have
make
it
for
up
your
here.
guitar playing. We'll only be working with a
Okay.
small group of
So let's
hand-selected
get rid of
people,
the
so if you want to
change
be
that
one
we
of them,
put
then you
in
need
here.
to submit your application just by clicking the button below. We'll take a look at your application, and me or one of our team members is going to reach out to you at the time you selected for your call. Make sure you're a good fit, answer any questions you have,
Son
and
of
if you
a-
are a good fit, we'll make you a personal guitar
All right, I
blueprint
wanna
to
go
align
through
with
the
your
rest of
guitar
this with
goals
you
and
and
help
then
you
go through the
achieve them.
chapter.
So if
We'll
you're
come
more
back to
interested in
that.
finger picking
Okay.
fluently on guitar
Now, the
and playing
idea
fingerstyle,
is
then we'll make
there
you a
is now
plan
a
that involves our
routine
best
that's
fingerstyle
gonna
and finger
calculate
picking
the number of
programs.
quarters.
Or if you want to learn how to
There
lead
is
and
now a
solo on
routine
guitar,
that's going
then we'll
to
make you a
calculate
plan
the
that
number of
revolves around
times.
that. And if
There
you want
is
to learn
now
a
a
bit of
routine
everything,
that's gonna
that's possible
calculate
too.
the number
But we're
of
only
angles.
looking for people
There is
serious
now a
about achieving their
routine
guitar goals. So if that's not you, then you shouldn't apply. But if you are serious
that
about
is supposed to
finally
be
achieving your
calculating
guitar
the number
goals,
of
want
pennies,
step-by-step
and
systems to get there, as well as
number of
personalized
pennies
support,
done to
then the
string.
Guitar Masters Club is for you. So just send in your application by clicking the button below. So this is the chance to take the leap and change your guitar
I don't
playing
have
forever.
this
We're not going to be
info. Yeah,
accepting
okay, this
everyone
is fine.
inside, and we're not going to be keeping
So I'm
applications
calling
open forever,
routines
so we can
right
work with
here.
people inside the Guitar Masters Club.
This
We want to
is
make sure
setting
it's a
number of
really good
quarters
experience for people
equal
inside. So to
to-
send an application, just click the button below. Like I said, I made it super easy. It's super simple. Just get to know about your guitar goals, where you
That
want to go, and then you'll have an
number of
opportunity
quarters.
at the end to book your
The
free
number of
call, so we
dimes
can
is
reach
being
out to you
set
and make
equal
sure
to the
you're a
number
good
of
fit for the
dimes,
Guitar Masters
the number
Club.
of
And
nickels
everyone
to
has
the
their
number
own
of
unique
nickels,
goals and problems. That's why
etc.
on the call we'll find exactly
All right.
what you want to achieve
So
and
let's
give
go
you a
back and
personal
quickly
plan
look at these
to
routines.
achieve your guitar goals. This is your chance to take a leap and change
So
your guitar
quarters,
playing forever. At a
take
cost
whatever change
significantly
I put
less
in
than
there
having a local
originally
guitar
and
teacher.
divide it by
And you'll have
quarter
unlimited
value.
access 24/7 to some of the most step-by-step programs
the
here at
change that
Acoustia.
I put
But
in
what
there
really brings value to
should
all
have
of this
been,
is the
let's see.
one-on-one personalized support. You'll be getting access to a personal success coach, we'll be having weekly calls, and you'll be able to message us at our support email and phone anytime. So whenever you're going through the program and are having a little trouble, which happens, you can just message us and we'll get you on track. Because I want to make sure you finally achieve your guitar goals. But like I said, the Guitar Masters Club is currently application only.
So
We
the
want to make sure
change
everyone's a good fit,
is
so there's going to be a
equal
lot of
to
support involved. So to get
convert
started, just click the
dot
button below.
to
It's going to take some work, but
32
with access to
TXT
all our state-of-the-art step-by-step
change
courses,
do
weekly
dot
calls with the other members,
text.
and your own guitar success coach, we're going to make it as easy as possible. So just click the button below to send in your application to the Guitar Masters Club. After your application, you'll be able to book a call with us and me or one of our team members will reach out to you. Make sure you're a good fit and welcome you to the team. All you got to do to get started is click the button below. Don't wait to send in your application because we're seriously only working with a small amount of people. So this is your chance now to actually send it in and get started. And if you wait, you won't be able to take your skill where you want. If you're ready to send in an application to the Guitar Masters Club and take your playing to the next level, just click the button below to get started.
It's going to return this return value, which is either equal to true, or if there was nothing in there, it's equal to false.
Click the button below to send in your application to the Guitar Masters Club. And like I said, if you have any questions, on the call we'll answer them for you. The call will either be with me or one of our team members, depending on how many calls we're getting and how many people are inside the group. So
then we know there's something in there, so we have to check for non-numeric
to submit your application.
And we do a similar type of operation.
You don't want to keep waiting and waiting and trying the same things to achieve your guitar goals.
So again,
you need to try something
this
new.
return value that will be true.
The way I see it is that you have two choices you can make.
If
the first is obviously that you keep trying to learn guitar the same ways that you're doing right now,
but
facing the same
if
problems
we attempted to do this and it
hover around the
returned
same skill level
false,
forever and are stuck
that means we put something non-numeric in there, so we'll set red value.
You get frustrated when you try to learn new songs. You don't 100% know what you're doing with the technique and you're playing,
and then finally,
you never achieve your guitar goals. Or you choose the second option and join the Guitar Masters Club. You follow proven step-by-step systems to achieve whatever guitar goals you have, and get personalized support to fix any problems you're having and make sure you achieve them as quickly as possible. You can finally play how you've dreamed, whether that be fingerstyle guitar,
keep going,
playing beautiful classical pieces,
check for, well, what did we call that down here? Check for out of range,
or even playing incredible solos. So just click the button below to apply to the Guitar Masters Club. It literally takes less than 3 minutes, and it'll be the best decision you've made for your guitar playing. You literally have everything you need to become an amazing fluent fingerpicker, classical player, smooth rhythm player, or even lead guitarist. Just book your application below and click now. I'll play a clip now of people who've gone through our programs here at Acoustia. And if at any time you want to become a student and join the Guitar Masters Club, just click the button below.
I'm an older beginner.
I think what I'll do, you won't know this now, but I'm going to finish this, get this to work. We're at
step-by-step approach.
37 minutes, which is okay. Get this to work, then I'll go back and do the lecture, but when I put them out on the YouTube channel, I'll reverse the order. So, I'm going to see this now. Got this Boolean called Keep Going.
Again. Forgot about everything I've learned. They within a week, only a week,
I don't know why it's gray.
The notes on the fretboard.
Not positive.
I understand the fretboard.
It should be
still learning about the notes. I know where they are.
So
but also the main thing for me is I can connect with my guitar now.
If check for no input returned true, it meant there was input. So we want to now set our keep going to check for non-numeric input. If this returned false, I just want to return. I've already given my error message, so I'm done.
71 going on 72.
So then I call
to play guitar for the
check
last
for non-numeric
years. You know, life got in the way, and I just never really got really good at it. So I decided now is the time to do it.
It's so easy. It's straightforward.
So if check for non-numeric input returned true,
I've been with it for about a month, and I've learned quite a bit.
It kind of makes you feel really, really, really good within yourself, knowing that you can do something and other people can struggle at it. And they look at you, and it's like when I watch Andrew, when I just watch Andrew play, and you think, God, how are you doing all that? And then all of a sudden you look at yourself, and you're kind of doing the same little thing, even the basics. It's just amazing how you can do it and not even know you're doing it. Absolutely brilliant.
So when you are a Guitar Masters Club member, you get access to all our programs here at Acoustia, focusing on fingerstyle, strumming, classical, and more, weekly group calls to answer all of your questions, and a personal guitar coach for you. I can't wait to welcome you in and personally help you achieve your guitar goals over the next 11 months. Click the button below to apply. I'll see you on the other side in just a minute.
Now, it appears to be still having a problem with this out of range, so let's check and see if that's still the case. Says out of range input. So we have to find out in there. Input string was not in the correct format. Okay. put 94 in there. It should be, I think that's TXT change too, isn't it? This is, come on, oh my goodness. Sometimes it freezes like this a little bit, but it'll come back in a second. I don't want that. My goodness. So, TXT change too. Yep. Probably still going to get an error message the way my luck's been going, but yep, out of range input. Why am I getting out of range input? Alright, so let's look in here. This should be change. And so should this. Let's try it one more time. All right. So that's 75, that's 78. So the numbers are wrong, but I'm getting data back. So there's nothing in here that's breaking. All right, that's a good start. So let's look at 999. 39 times 25. That's a quarter away. So these are not working. But the point is I'm getting stuff back, and that's important. So 100. 4 quarters, so that works. How about 101? Well, that's not working. So notice. All right, and that's not a problem because it's now I'm almost there. All righty. And I've got these written. I could have just brought up the one that I wrote a year ago. I don't like doing that. I like to redo it, challenge myself, for lack of better words. All right, so let's take a look in here. So, calculate times, calculate change remaining. Okay, that's fine. So let's go back. The answer is always in the code. So the number of quarters, it's our original change that we had in there, divided by that. Our change remaining is our original change divided by quarter value, and return the number of quarters. That is correct. So these should all be change remaining, and so should that, and they all are. So that's right. All right. So play computer. I come in here and I put in fact, let's do that. Let's put in, what would we need? 25 plus 10 would be 35, plus 5 would be 40, plus 1. So if I put in 41 here, well, you can tell it's wrong because it's giving me 26 cents. So this should be 1111. So it's partially correct. All right. So let me exit. So here's my number of quarters. And I set my change equal to this. So that's equal to that. Change to text. I believe that's being changed every time, no pun intended, but I don't want that to happen. Well, let's go back and do what we did before. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to set breakpoints at every one of these. Again, good exercise for all of us. And I'm going to set a breakpoint here. Okay, then I'm going to run the program. And I'm going to put in 41. In fact, let's put in 999. Click calculate. All right, so I'm here. The number of quarters is 39. All right, change remaining is 39. That there is my problem. Okay, that should be a modulo, and it's not. That's why you go back and you go and run all this stuff. So let's take a look now. I'm going to, for now at least, I'm going to disable all my breakpoints. All right, so let's stop the run and start the run. Now with 41 cents, each one of these should be a 1. Bingo. All right, let's try 4 quarters, which would be $1. 4 quarters, which would be $1. 4 dimes, which would be 40 cents. 1 nickel, which would be $1.45, and 4 cents, which would be 149. So 5 quarters. I guess I did my math wrong. So $120, $1.25, $1.35, $1.45, $1.49. All right. Let's try 139. All right. So 5 quarters would be $1.25, $1.35, $1.39. It's not working. This is a great, again, it's a great teaching moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this program and show it in class, and I'm going to go over it in a lot of depth and breadth of coverage, more than I even have in here. All right, so I'll be back with the actual Chapter 5 lecture in just a minute.